My only purpose was to reach as fast as I can, and I'm sorry for that. And I think, being a guest to your country, you will forgive me. Now, my topic is a very, very simple topic. It is evaluation of the Islamic financial system in the international context. I entered into the Islamic finance and Islamic banking in 1983. That was a period when Egypt was the only country which was struggling to bring Islamic finance in its country. Otherwise, the world disregarded Islamic finance in the beginning of its birth. In 20th century, Islamic finance is proven as a parallel system with new dimension, scopes, benefits in a unique classification which is known as riba-free financial system. Economists, bankers, jurists, and monetary pundits accuse movement of Islamic finance in the beginning of its birth as an agenda of Islamic fundamentalists uniting a funding source to be used for international terrorism. First social bank, formed in 1960, was linked to the movement which was gaining a momentum against the then Egyptian government during the period of 1958 to 1965, which was also the growing period of Islamic financial system. Islamic financial system today, its concept, power, and values are changing banking and finance as the world's fastest developing capital market. It's sad to observe that international press still projecting Islam as an orthodox religion, whereas Islam brings out most modern lifestyle and monetary system for the world that have effective solution for all economic crises. In reality, Muslims are devoted people and peace lovers following a very dynamic system that leads to socio-economic growth instead of just an economic growth. Myth, mysteries, and magnificence develop a question. What is Islamic economics and finance? Now, if we take the real meaning and a practical meaning of Islamic finance and Islamic economics, it's just a man, money, and commodity into participation and cooperation for all activity to gain the resources to satisfy the needs of a common man. Islamic economics is a theory. It works to push Islamic financial system to its application. Both are applied in accordance to Islamic jurisprudence in the guidance of Holy Quran. Sharia is the practice on the guidance of Holy Quran by Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Now, let us see what is basically Islamic economics means it. And we have to see very carefully that Islamic economics is a system that identify available resources by Almighty Allah to the mankind. How these resources are distributed, utilized, and consumed by man, keeping the importance of social justice, seeking best of these resources through participation and cooperation by applying knowledge, experience, ability, and efforts through the power of pen and book granted by Almighty Allah in recognition and confirmation of the man's status on earth as unique among all creation, yani Ashraful Makhluqat, and appointing a man as a custodian only a custodian to all the resources that Allah owns it alone and absolutely. Islamic economics is a complete system for political, social, traditional, commercial, financial, business, and economic affairs for Islamic and non-Islamic communities without discrimination, with freedom of choice, act, and speech, but within defined limits. Now, How the economic took a birth? That's a very, very important question. The creation of Adam and the creation of Eve from the rib of Adam is the allocation of gender to two human bodies. The role of these two genders are specified as man to be responsible and women to be obligatory, to cooperate and participate in achieving maximum benefit from the blessings of Allah. Both genders were empowered senses, needs, wants, and desire that leads to act, acquire, and acceptance for the basic needs, employing best of their ability. Human mind having power to think, act, achieve, and integrated with the senses in the supremacy to convert planet, the earth, into the world. When world is being created, world was given a unified system of lifestyle, socio-economic system. Socio-economic system develop a community for people. People develop a geographical boundaries around their community and organize themselves into a nation. Those nations accepted Allah as Almighty and Absolute, Holy Messenger as a guide, Book of Revelation as a manual of system deen. Thus, these nations declaring themselves as Muslim Ummah. 4 principles of Islamic economic guides us very clearly the application of the system. All wealth belongs to Almighty Allah. Man is the trustee of wealth. Hoarding of wealth is prohibited. Wealth must be in circulation at all times. Islamic economy believes resources are unlimited and availability of resources attached to human efforts. Do not accept inflation and link resources to be consumed within the season for maximum benefits. It declares money as a medium of exchange in volume against the value of the commodity and services. Islamic economics declare man as a force, money as a source, and commodity as a course. Man, money, and commodity developed the exchange system that put money to act as a bridge between two systems: lending and borrowing, financing and participation. Pricing money with the rate applied on principle with the time value, declaring value of money as a commodity. Participation of man's ability to use the money to multiply, divide, subtract, and add by exercising the money for a specific purpose with socio-economic and commercial reasons is the financing. Islamic Sharia identify riba in all economic affairs. But what is riba? We have to understand exactly what is the meaning of riba. Any earning, income, profit, or benefit being earned, taken, or received through wrong means, bad intentions, shady practices, wicked participation, such earning, income, profit, or benefit are classified as riba. Riba is immoral, unethical, unjustified, commercial, economical, financial, political, social, cultural, and traditional practice and activities to gain benefit at individual, collective, or institutional level. The above receivables and act leads to crime, develop cruelty and exploitation, create self-importance and monopoly, discrimination, inflation, and convert pluralistic society into singularistic society. Interest is a fixed rate on principal amount taken in excess without risk, effort, activity, in exploitation, cruelty, using force, and non-transparency in monetary transaction, confirming guaranteed return in an interest, and interest is a price of money, whereas money is only a bridge between man and commodity or services. Now, we have a perception that interest, riba is an interest, whereas interest is a part of riba, and riba has a 52 major categories that work in the economic system that disturb the economic life of a common man. Now, what is the profit now? What is the difference between the profit and interest? Principal finance deducted from the proceeds of sales and services, realizing gross profit, which then be deducted by cost of transaction, declaring the net profit, which distributed in ratio according to investment ratio, appraisal, precaution, trust, confidence, experience, knowledge, purpose, will, and spirit are the basic ethics that act in realizing profit in the transaction. Riba interest are the limitation of financing, whereas profit is the achievement. Now we have to see the definition of financing. As on today, where I am standing, we don't differentiate between lending and financing system. Let me tell you, lending system is entirely different than the financing system. Their modalities are different, their concept is different, their applications is different, their execution is different. But what is financing? Finance is an intermediary source of money in volume in exchange of the value of the ability, commodity, equity, or property in production, manufacturing, and trading. It makes the volume of money to support for a specific purpose within the specific period, in between person to person, person to institution, or institution with group or institution, on an understanding to share the result of transaction in profit and loss. Now, what is the difference between financing and lending? Just we see a quick look on it, that financing is an equity and not the liability. Lending is a liability and not the participation. Financing is made and loan is given. Lending is secured and financing is support. Financing is an investment and loan is a facility. Lending is given at a price of money by applying a rate. Financing profit is shared in an agreed ratio. Lending has to be secured by external factor of collaterals. Financing is securitized within its own system. Lending is given against the confirmation of guarantee. Financing cannot be made until the user is able to use it. Lending leads to inflation and liquidation. Financing ends at ownership. Lending increased liability, cost, and decreased the net worth. Financing increased the capital base as well as net worth. Financing is an act of money classified as opposite to the lending. Islamic finance appeared from North African regional country Egypt with the establishment of first social bank. Early Islamic era rejected lending of money as it involved pricing of money by applying a rate on the principal amount by confirming results guaranteed, which is shirk. Why it is shirk? Because guarantee cannot be given by anybody except Allah Tabarak Ta'ala. Money was used as a force to exploit humanity for individual benefit. To give humanity a dignified status as a force for all economic activity, financing was introduced in the monetary world, which was already defined. Financing is taken as an equity for all socio-economic ventures through input method, which is called sukuk. Sukuk is the issuance of financial instrument for subscription and contribution of monetary resources to structure capital of output method applied as mudaraba, ability financing, murabaha, commodity financing, ijara, property asset financing, musharaka, equity venture financing. Now financing, as is being written over here, appreciate work ethic, wealth distribution, socio-economic justice, define role of state responsibilities and duties of the citizen, establish absolute prohibition of payment or receipt of fixed guaranteed return, encourage entrepreneurship, discourage speculative behavior, emphasize sanctity of the contract, enforce for handling economic, social, political, and cultural characteristics of Islamic societies. Now, financing has to be evaluated and appraised on a 12P formula, which is based on person, purpose, project, period, product, process, price, place, participation, pact, professionalism, and perfectness that leads to zero risk and profitability. In the mid of 19th century, Islamic financial declared as a parallel monetary system with conventional lending system already covering 99% of the world monetary market. Egypt has the highest volume of contribution in the development of Islamic finance, recognized by the 20th century bankers, jurists, economists, bankers, and all those who are linked to money business. Financial system penetrated from Egypt in other regional countries, and members of personalities enter in the research, scholars, educators, professors, jurists, and economists in the Islamic financial movement. Egypt has now 14 Islamic banking licenses and several Islamic finance windows with approximately 120 billion Egyptian pound of assets in Islamic banking industry. Out of total asset of the entire banking sectors are about 1.3 trillion. I might be wrong. These figures might be old figure, but what I have got in the latest edition, I have recorded it. In 1977, Pakistan military dictator Ziaul Haq took initiative in converting Pakistan economy system into zero rate of interest and asked Council of Islamic Ideology to give recommendation. The council drafted a remarkable report on the Islamic economics and finance with the contribution of over 400 leading Pakistani and international reputed personalities. Finance Committee of OIC declared this report as Pakistan as one of the most authentic documents covering Islamic economics, finance, banking, takaful, and jurisprudence. In 1984, Pakistan moved Mudaraba Ordinance and declared Mudaraba mode as a non-banking financial institute, and this financing mode is being converted into an institution. Now I must record the appreciation to Dr. Ahmad al-Najjar, may Allah rest him in peace, who entered into the Islamic financial system in 1963, made the pioneering effort in establishing the saving bank, which was based on profit and loss sharing in Egyptian town Midgimir. Till 1972, it expanded to 9 banks with the name of Nasser Social Bank. Dr. Najjar organized the first international conference on Islamic banking and Islamic economics in 1978 to start the program of awareness for leading personalities of Islamic countries, which agreed to form a platform of human resource development on the Islamic finance. As a result, International Institute of Islamic Banking and Islamic Economics was established in Cairo, Egypt in the mid of 70 in 19th century for human resource development. Fortunately, I am also the graduate of this institute. Then they moved again for another cause, which is International Association of Islamic Bank, which was also been formed to unite all the Islamic banks under one platform. In 1974, Association of Islamic Bank moved a proposal to OIC to form Islamic Development Bank. Dubai Islamic Bank established in 1974. The beginning of 82 groups entered in Islamic finance, namely Darul Mal al-Islami and Al-Baraka Group. In mid of 19th century, Algeria entered into Islamic finance with the introduction of one bank affiliated with Egypt and Tunisia and second bank affiliated to an Islamic Bank of Bahrain. Tunisian government aims to develop Islamic banking. Central bank move a plan to allow the bank to operate Islamic window to segregate money from the conventional operations. Tunisia adopted Islamic finance in late 70s by establishing 2 offshore banking and financial houses, Bank Zaytuna. In 1990, IDB and Central Bank of Morocco and Bank Al-Maghrib hosted a conference on Islamic finance, which was initiative to bring change in the banking sector. In 2007, Morocco began introducing Islamic banking product through Morocco central banking by allowing certain type of Islamic financial product in response to growing consumer market. To mobilize Islamic financial product, a draft bill was placed before Parliament for approval. It will be added a chapter to Morocco banking law, providing a set of regulation to the Islamic financial product. Now, Citigroup, HSBC, Deutsche Bank, UBS, and Standard Chartered were the leading banks that started the Islamic window in their conventional banking system. In 2009, IFC listed first long-term sukuk and ranked first non-Islamic financial organization to issue a sukuk in the Gulf Cooperation Council for term financing. IFC is a subsidiary of the World Bank, has now moved rapidly in the Islamic banking and considering to enter into SME market also. German state company issued sukuk of 100 million euro. Islamic Development Bank issued sukuk of 400 million. World Bank issued sukuk of 200 million. These are the reports of Islamic finance and conventional finance are quickly came together in the Gulf region for single purpose. As conventional investor gain more comfort with Islamic structure to cost differentiate between Islamic product and conventional product have almost discarded. As a result, Islamic product may be more practical because they appeal to both Islamic and conventional investors. Now, this was just a quick outline of the Islamic finance and what happened to Islamic banking. It's a long story. If we're going to start speaking it up, it will not be end into an hour or a day or a week or a month. There's a lot has been achieved, and what I have with my record says it that Islamic finance has already entered into this monetary world and captured the market in 65 years. 32% of the market is being held by Islamic financial institutions. Thank you very much. And any question, please.
Merci beaucoup. Donc très rapidement, on a vu l'évolution de la finance islamique et les différentes étapes par lesquelles ils sont passés. Et puis on a vu un peu les particularités de la finance vue sous l'angle de la charia et donc de la finance islamique. Je ne sais pas s'il y a des questions, des réactions. Donc on va prendre une question ici.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Morocco, and we're thankful to you for the presentation. Actually, you mentioned financing is securitized within its own system. Could you please elaborate on that?
Definitely. Basically, financing, as I told you, is an equity. It's not a liability. You have an ability to perform, and you have a net worth. I am going to buy your net worth, and I became your partner. I buy your net worth, I finance you, you hold my money, it came into your capital, you perform it. Now, me and you are both are partners. I look into your affairs, you look into my affairs. You are not supposed to pay me the financing. What are you going to do? Whenever you need the shares back, you have to apply your worth with the specific value of your share, and I will buy those shares back. You will buy the share back from me. Suppose my share price is 100 euro, and I have given you financing. Financing, you made 10 years, you made this financing as your capital. You earn, you gave me the profit. I am 20%, you are 80%. You have a 80%. So you give me profit 20%. For 10 years, I am taking a profit. One fine morning, you have enough profit left, and you say, I want to buy my shares back. I want to have a 100% holding. So you come to me, and I said, okay, here's your shares, but what is your net worth today? You must have add capital asset into it. Your 1 million net worth have increased to 150 million. So your share price is, according to net worth, is going to be increase or decrease. If your share price is 99, I have to take 99. If your share price is 105, then I have to take 105. But when I am becoming an owner, do I need a mortgage? Do I need a pledge? Do I need a collateral? And of course, if we see the institutions which are operating around the world, did you find any of the institutions in the world, you are a banker, there are so many bankers there, any of the institution that has recovered their funding? Lehman Brothers is right over there, $992 billion loss. Why it is lost? Because non-performing loan have increased and increased and increased and reached to a level where the securitization is being 20% left over to the non-performing loan. So, when you are the owner, you liquidate the company like, you take a decision. In my country, especially in Pakistan, the registrar of the company, when you come into a musharka, mudaraba, murabaha, and ijara, they prefer one thing: what is your contract? Is it an Islamic contract, or it's a financial contract, or it's a lending contract? If it's a financial contract, liquidation. If it's a lending contract, civil code. So you have to make the law for it.
Très bien, merci beaucoup. Je pense qu'on va conclure. Thank you. Et donc, rendez-vous demain à 9h moins quart. Comme ça, on pourra démarrer à 9h. Merci beaucoup de votre patience et à demain. Juste une annonce, donc pour le dîner, c'est à partir de 21h. Au restaurant en face, pas là où on a pris le déjeuner, c'est en face. Donc à 21h. Et merci beaucoup, à tout à l'heure.